Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Andy. I'm the managing consultant for CyberVenger. Here at CyberVenger, we help customers manage their cybersecurity and their compliance needs. What's compliance, you might ask? Well, compliance is a standard imposed upon your company about how you store your information, your data, and how you use it and who you share it with. Common standards you might be familiar with are HIPAA, for example, or PCI. And back to the HIPAA example, your medical records are sensitive information that we don't want spread throughout the world. And a law was passed by the government to mandate that doctors' offices store your patient information in a certain kind of way. Now, the standard is fairly open, but it does mention specifically that the software and operating systems that you're using have to be supported by the vendor. So in the case of Microsoft, for example, you can't use Windows 7 computers anymore. Right now, at the time of this recording, Windows 10 is still supported by Microsoft. And therefore, by the HIPAA standard, you can store patient information on a Windows 10 machine. You can use those in your environment. But that may change. And when that changes and say Windows 11, for example, becomes the new supported standard and Windows 10 is no longer supported, then that will be what you'd have to use in your environment. These kinds of restrictions upon how you perform your IT are known as compliance. And compliance is a big deal. It's a growing need in the IT industry. It's a growing part of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity and compliance are very similar. Lots of overlap, but they're not quite the same. Cybersecurity, of course, is how you protect your company from outside threats or inside threats for that matter. It's to protect your data and keep it safe. Compliance is demonstrating your cybersecurity efforts to an outside third party, whether it be the government, whether it be a vendor like the software vendor or someone you buy data from, or to a customer, or even to industry associations. We do a lot of business with the receivables industry, Receivables Management Association International, RMAI. They have a standard that they want all of their members to follow and comply with, because if you think about what the receivables industry does and what kind of information they have is very sensitive information. That information has to be protected. And they certify that all their members do, in fact, protect their data to a certain standard. And if the members don't follow that standard and don't protect the data sufficiently, they can't join the RMAI. So that's mandated by an industry association. HIPAA was by the government. A lot of vendors will also mandate that, hey, if we're selling you data, you have to protect that data by a certain standard. Our customers only authorize us to disclose this information for a specific purpose. You can only use that data for that purpose. You must prove to us that you're following those guidelines before we'll sell you the data. That's a kind of common scenario you'll see. Now, if you're a small business, this can seem very intimidating, getting involved in these kind of restrictions. And it can be, but that's why we're here. We're here to help people figure out these challenges, whether it be PCI, NIST, HIPAA, FINRA, any of those kind of compliance standards. We're running out video and content to help people make that easier and to understand it better. If you find our videos helpful and informative and you think you might want to engage us as a consultancy, that's great. We'd love to have you as a customer. But if you find our videos helpful and you don't need us after watching our videos, you can figure it out yourself, that's great too. We're excited about that. We're here to provide quality content for our viewers. So if you do find this helpful, as usual, we would love a like or subscribe. And if you have questions about a particular topic that we're discussing, feel free to put those questions in the comments below, and we'll answer the best that we can, first come, first serve kind of basis. As with all of our videos, we want people to get as much out of them as possible. So we'll be working with you. So cybersecurity topics might include how to configure a firewall, how to enable remote workers to get in your environment safely and securely, how to detect a breach, how to report a breach. There are a lot of legal requirements that dictate how, when, and who you report a breach to. So if you get hacked and you've been compromised, you can't necessarily just sweep that under the carpet. You may actually be legally obligated to tell various stakeholders that you've been breached. So if you don't know what that requirement is, you need to find out. And that's kind of the topics we'll cover here. So this has been a short, brief introductory tutorial video on what we're going to be doing, what kind of information we have to offer, and hopefully that's kind of thing you're looking for. Stay tuned for the channel for more exciting content, and we'll be providing that weekly. Again, my name is Andy, the CyberVenger. Thank you so much.